Casemiro scored a late winner as Manchester United booked their place in the FA Cup fifth round with a 1-0 victory over Nottingham Forest. Looking to bounce back from Saturday's defeat against Fulham, United started the brighter at the City ground. Erling Haaland scored 5, Kevin De Bruyne provided 4 of the assists, and Pep Guardiola has got his sights on another treble. City are now into the FA Cup sixth round, one step away from the Champions League quarter-finals and nicely poised in the Premier League title race. The kids continue to be more than alright for Liverpool as Jurgen Klopp's Cup kids saw off Southampton to set up an FA Cup quarter-final tie at Old Trafford. GAWANG PATAH has summarized it for you. Erling Haaland scores 5 as Man City thrash Luton with 4 Kevin De Bruyne assists. Luton 2-6 Manchester City. Erling Haaland hit 5 of the visitors' goals in a stunning display at Kenilworth Road, while teammate Kevin De Bruyne bagged 4 assists. There's simply no stopping Manchester City's incredible double act. Erling Haaland scored 5, Kevin De Bruyne provided 4 of the assists, and Pep Guardiola has got his sights on another treble. City are now into the FA Cup sixth round, one step away from the Champions League quarter-finals and nicely poised in the Premier League title race. You would have to be brave against them repeating last season's heroics as well as winning a historic 4th consecutive title in the process. Haaland is now up to 27 goals in 29 games across all competitions, while De Bruyne is back to fitness and form at just the right time. Incredibly, De Bruyne has 11 assists in the 12 games he has played this season. But it was also their telepathic understanding which destroyed poor Luton, as 4 times De Bruyne set up Haaland with Bernardo Silva providing the other assist before Mateo Kovacic hit his own wonder strike from 25 yards. Very briefly, Luton gave City a scare as they got the score back to 3-2 with Jordan Clark scoring twice, both assisted by Ross Barkley. But Guardiola's men just looked on another planet. They look like the best team in Europe. They have got the best players, the best midfielder in De Bruyne, and the most deadly striker in Haaland. He got 52 goals last season, and give him enough time then he might just get close again. The only downside was another injury to City's England midfielder Jack Grealish, who limped off after just 39 minutes before covering his face on the bench as he looked to be in tears. But that was the only blemish, as City were ahead after 4 minutes. Matheus Nunes played in De Bruyne and his cross was fired home by Haaland. Soon afterwards it was 2-0 and another for Haaland. It was the same double act as, first, City keeper Stefan Ortega pumped the ball forward. Haaland laid it back to De Bruyne. De Bruyne's superb first-time pass released Haaland, who held off Teden Mengi, powered through, and then his shot was so fierce that Kroll could not stop it. Haaland was on a mission. Yet again, De Bruyne's pass set it up as the City midfielder was in his own half when he released Haaland, who sprinted clear before firing past Kroll again to make it 3-0 after 40 minutes. Finally, something went Luton's way as the home side recovered some pride in the 45th minute. Clark's brilliant dipping 20-yard shot to beat Ortega as the ball went into the far corner. Then the same combination worked again as Barkley's clever flicked pass played in Clark, who drilled past Stefan Ortega. The comeback lasted all of 3 minutes. Kyle Walker's pass played in De Bruyne and his cross was put in by Haaland. That made it 4 goals for Haaland and 4 assists for De Bruyne. That combination was finally ended after 58 minutes when Bernardo Silva took his turn to set up Haaland again, and the City striker's fierce shot went through Kroll's legs. 5-2. Then the scoring finished after 73 minutes when Kovacic stormed forward, and this shot flew past Kroll. No wonder the away end chanted, "Champions again." What a night. Liverpool's kids set up Man Utd meeting as teens torment Southampton. 5 talking points. Liverpool 3-0 Southampton. 18-year-olds Lewis Kumas and Jadon Danns, twice, both found the net as the depleted Reds saw off an impressive Saints side. The kids continue to be more than alright for Liverpool as Jurgen Klopp's Cup kids saw off Southampton to set up an FA Cup quarter-final tie at Old Trafford. The Saints had been the better side for the majority of the first half at Anfield, hitting the post through Kamaldeen Sulemana, but a deflected effort from debutant Lewis Kumas gave the depleted Reds the lead shortly before the break. Southampton, playing a fine brand of football, kept coming in the second half, but substitute Jadon Danns clipped home a superb second at the Kop end for his first senior goal, then followed that up with another from close range. Here are the main talking points from the night. 1. Onto Old Trafford. After this win, and everything it signifies for the club's academy, it will be on to Old Trafford for the quarter-final next month, and what could be a massive game in both club seasons. A United win and Erik ten Hag will have a huge, potentially job-saving tick in the box, but a Liverpool win will probably keep the quadruple hunt alive, keep Klopp's final show on the road, and keep the dream ending possible. Can't wait. 2. Southampton's slick start. Klopp was at pains to point out that Liverpool hadn't been celebrating since clinching the Carabao Cup on Sunday, but in the opening exchanges Southampton made them look as though they'd been out on the ale. The ones that are old enough anyway, demonstrating a fearlessness and quality on the ball that Russell Martin's sides have become known for. Saints were by far and away the better side early on, and really should have been ahead by the quarter-hour mark as Mara and Sulemana looked so dangerous, with the latter hitting the post with an effort from an angle and the former bringing a smart stop from Caoimhin Kelleher. Decision-making let them down at times, but Saints were excellent. 3. A position too far for Joe Gomez. Part of the reason for that Southampton success was the emptiness of Liverpool's midfield, where Joe Gomez started in a brand new position and really struggled to keep up with the pace and movement of the visitors. The Englishman has had a superb season for the Reds, and his displays at left-back in particular in the absences of Andy Robertson and Kostas Tsimikas were excellent, but he looked like a fish out of water here. It is incredibly tough to play number 6 for Liverpool even if midfield is your position, and it certainly isn't Gomez's. 4. Lewis Kuma's the newest cop kid. Jason Kumas was a tidy player for Tranmere, West Brom, Cardiff, Wigan and Wales, scoring an impressive 10 goals in 34 games for his country. Whatever heights his son Lewis reaches in his career, he'll never forget this night. Kumas Jr. was on the bench for the Carabao Cup final and didn't get on, but he got his start here on the left of the attack, and for a long time he looked Liverpool's brightest player in their toughest period. He capped those minutes with a goal just before halftime, a lucky one via deflection, but he's got something about him. 5. But don't forget the veteran Jadon Danns on his third appearance. Dan's dad Neil was a good player too, impressing for Birmingham and Crystal Palace among others, and after his cameo appearance in the Carabao Cup final came this superbly taken goal in front of the Kop, a joyous moment for any player, but especially a local lad. Dan's SNR was a lively midfielder, but Jadon is a big, imposing forward, and after the goal he could have scored at Wembley came these moments he'll never forget, with 2 smart finishes at the Kop end. Liverpool are producing these kids at a rapid rate, and they all look the part. Casemiro spares Erik ten Hag's blushes as Man United reach FA Cup last 8. 5 talking points. Nottingham Forest 0-1 Manchester United. Casemiro scored an 89th-minute winner for Erik ten Hag's side as they secured their spot in the quarter-finals of the FA Cup. Casemiro scored a late winner as Manchester United booked their place in the FA Cup 5th round with a 1-0 victory over Nottingham Forest. Looking to bounce back from Saturday's defeat against Fulham, United started the brighter at the City ground. Antony and Scott McTominay went close to giving them the lead inside the opening 10 minutes, before Marcus Rashford was presented with a huge chance, but he blazed over. Forest grew into the game and forced Andre Onana into a series of impressive saves, but United still provided a threat at the other end, with Bruno Fernandes going close in the second half. It was the Red Devils who eventually scored the winner, however, as Casemiro headed home from close range. United will now face Liverpool, who progressed through to the quarter-finals by beating Southampton in a mouth-watering last 8 tie next month. Here are 5 talking points from the match. Casemiro the match winner. United dominated large spells of the game, but it took them until the 89th minute to find the all-important winner against Forest, and it came from an unlikely source. Bruno Fernandes, who missed a catalogue of chances himself, whipped in a delightful in-swinging free kick which was headed home by Casemiro. It was a clever header from the midfielder, who eased past his marker before glancing the ball through the legs of the on-rushing Matt Turner. Before that, Casemiro had not found the net since the 3-0 win over Crystal Palace in September, having started the season in scoring form. Antony handed chance. After being named on the bench in the Red Devils' last 5 matches, Antony was recalled to the starting 11 to face Forest. The Brazilian, who joined United from Ajax for £86 million in 2022, has struggled for form this season, scoring 1 goal and providing 1 assist in 26 matches in all competitions. However, Ten Hag defended Antony in his pre-match press conference and handed him a chance to impress at the City ground. Within 4 minutes, the 23-year-old almost opened the scoring for the Red Devils. A well-worked move made its way to Antony just inside the box, but his powerful strike hit the crossbar and flew over. Antony showed glimpses of potential throughout and forced a smart stop from Matt Turner before being replaced by Amad Diallo in the 71st minute. Although the bar is low, it was one of Antony's better performances of the season as he looks to regain a regular place in the side. Onana impressive. After struggling during the first few months of his United career, Andre Onana is starting to show why United signed him for £47.5 million from Inter Milan last summer. He produced an impressive performance against Forest, making several excellent saves to ensure the Red Devils didn't fall behind. Following a bright start from United, Onana was called into action for the first time as he made a neat stop to deny Divock Origi. A mistake at the back then allowed Taiwo Awoniyi to run through, but his powerful strike was saved by Onana, who got down well to stop the ball from nestling home. Awoniyi had another opportunity early into the second half as he fired a low-driven shot towards the corner, but Onana was equal to the strike. Origi was frustrated once again by Onana before Morgan Gibbs-White tested his luck late on but was denied by the informed goalkeeper. Furious Ten Hag. Ten Hag cut an animated figure on the touchline throughout the match, but one particular incident got the better of the Dutchman. It came in the 35th minute when Ten Hag was furious that Forest got a throw-in which he felt should have gone to United. Referee Chris Kavanagh walked over to tell him to calm down. In the second half, Ten Hag displayed his frustration once again after the Red Devils were not awarded a penalty. Marcus Rashford burst through on goal and went to ground after feeling contact from Murillo, but Kavanagh was not interested and waved away appeals from the United players. Ten Hag named a strong side to take on Forest, but there were some notable absentees from the 11. Kobbie Mainoo, who had previously started the last 12 matches in all competitions, was named as a substitute, while Harry Maguire dropped out after picking up an injury against Fulham. Maguire has joined the likes of Rasmus Højlund, Mason Mount, Lisandro Martinez, and Luke Shaw on the sidelines, and Ten Hag has not put a timeline on the problem. With their injury list growing, the United boss named 6 academy graduates on the bench, including highly rated youngsters Habib Ogunai and Toby Collier.